I guess you can never have too many goalies. Let's talk about it.
It's Crosby. Crosby on Kunitz and shot. Penguins win it! Sees part for Crosby to the goal. He scores!
Buckle up, baby. Are you kidding me?
And on Fane, the shot. He scores! Here's Crosby with a burst of speed up the middle. Gets up and scores!
You're a collective.
Andy Kyoto is beating Ninamaki's brains in. What a show!
With preseason underway, the Pittsburgh Penguins have 8 goaltenders on their roster. We're going to briefly go through them, and we're going to choose who we think are going to be the starting 2 in Pittsburgh. Kyle Dubas recently talked to the media saying that there are going to be the 2 goaltenders that are the best fit. Not the obvious choices, but the ones that actually work hard and the ones that earn their positions. Now, Josh, who is on our roster? Who are all the goaltenders? And then we could break down probably who's going to go to Wheeling, who's going to go to Wilkes-Barre, and then obviously we have to battle out who's going to be the starting in Pittsburgh. So Josh, who are the goaltenders of the Pittsburgh Penguins?
Yeah, starting with the obvious, we have a PTO contract to Marc-Andre Fleury
Nice.
for his retirement farewell that's going to take place on Saturday, September 27th. Stay tuned. We got a special live post game
right.
for that one. Just throwing that out there.
Yep.
Then we have Tristan Jarry, Murashov, Blomqvist, Larson, Gautier,
Yeah.
Silovs, and Pavlenko.
Yeah, so those are all the goaltenders right now. Now, if you're curious, Pavlenko and Larson, those guys are most likely not playing in the NHL. I think those are quickly not playing in the NHL. Obviously, Marc-Andre Fleury, as Josh mentioned, professional tryout. He is not going to be a starter for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He is going to have a farewell, unfortunately. Although, if you told me this list last year, I would have been like stoked. But here we go. Here are the potentials for Wheeling Nailers. That is the ECHL club for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I believe it's going to be Pavlenko and Gautier is going to be the Wheeling guys. Josh, do you have any arguments against or for, or what do you think?
No arguments with those two. Only other name, just obviously odd man out here would be Larson.
Right.
Possibly he could. I don't know. Do we keep 3 at ECHL level with Wheeling, or do we keep 3 in Wilkes-Barre at the AHL level? That'll be the deciding factor.
I would have to look at Larson's contract, but I know Pavlenko and Gautier have both played in Wheeling, so I know theirs is more of an AHL contract. Larson, I have to double check on. But yeah, I would agree with you. So that's probably the odd man out. Now, speaking of Larson, most likely he's going to be an AHL backup. I think he has earned a solid spot there in Wilkes-Barre. And now comes the tricky part on who is going to be the starter in Wilkes-Barre. Now, this starter is going to be the essential third-string goaltender for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's going to get a lot of playing time, a lot of expertise in Wilkes-Barre, and I'm going to throw a curveball at a lot of people. I think it's going to be Blomqvist. Wow. I think it's going to be Blomqvist and Larson and Wilkes-Barre to start the season, and just like what we did with McGroarty last year, I think we give Murashov a shot in the NHL. Josh?
Wow. So I have it flipped. So I think in AHL we may be carrying 3. So if I may divulge my 3 here.
Yeah.
I mentioned Larson. I think it's going to be Blomqvist as the backup. So I think Larson gets the bench, Blomqvist gets backup, and Murashov gets the starting role at the AHL
interesting.
level. Yeah.
Interesting. So that would obviously leave for the Pittsburgh Penguins Artur Silovs as the backup and Marc-Andre Fleury. Sorry. I wish Tristan Jarry as the starter for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming that's your take for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, it's just for me. That's the logical explanation.
Sure.
There's multiple folds and multiple variables that go into that. I mean, obviously, Murashov is the future of the goaltending.
Sure.
Department. We need to see him as much as possible against higher caliber players. Mm-hmm. He was primarily in the ECHL last year and absolutely dominated that. Yeah. So, and then, kind of struggled a little bit once he got into AHL. He seems better and more confident now than he did at the tail end of the year last year.
I agree.
So we just need to see more of him against the AHL level. And I think that's why give him the start at the AHL, like the primary goaltender there. And then Blomqvist, I'm not saying that he's injury prone, but just the fact that he is actually already injured here in training camp / preseason. He's listed as day-to-day, but
true,
that's not going to help him crack the NHL. So I think that therefore he gets the backup spot in the NHL, in the AHL side. And then for the NHL, obviously Tristan Jarry, we're going to beat that dead horse into oblivion. Of him being our starting goaltender at the start of every year for his contract. That's just possibly the way it's going to be. Even though I do think he may have a bounce back year, but I've also said that for the last 2 years.
He can't keep on having bounce back years. That's
eventually it will be a bounce back year. But
eventually, if you keep on doing it, I guess his numbers will improve.
And I think because even though Kyle Dubas said it'll be the 2 best guys that start in Pittsburgh and contracts won't have a sway in it, I think he's bluffing there, because Jarry's contract you're not putting him in
Wilkes-Barre. Oh yes, correct.
To get the Wilkes-Barre. You're just not doing that. And then with Silovs, same thing.
He's waivers exempt, no?
No, he is not waivers exempt.
Oh, he's not waivers exempt, so he can't.
So you would, if you put him on waivers because of his age and because of his, projection, he's valuable. Will probably get picked up. So I don't think you're risking that. The only way you risk that is if Blomqvist gets healthy and has a dominant preseason, and then B, Murashov just continues to play lights out. So after the first preseason game, Murashov looked lights out. So if he plays that way through the entire preseason and Blomqvist can't get and Blomqvist gets healthy and then plays up to his caliber as well, then sure, you gotta make room, and Silovs could be just placed on waivers, traded away, whatever. But we essentially have 4 guys for 3 spots, and 4. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
4 guys for 3 spots, because we got backup in NHL and 2 at AHL level. So there's going to be 1, maybe 2 guys out, and I just, that's the way I see it going. Jarry, Silovs in NHL, Murashov, Blomqvist, Larson, AHL.
And There's a lot of moving parts. This is where I become the kind of conspiracy theorist that I am, which is I said Blomqvist and Larson in the AHL, which if you're doing process of elimination, ladies and gentlemen, that would mean we would have 3 goaltenders in Pittsburgh, which would be Murashov, Artur Silovs, and Tristan Jarry for my take.
Mm-hmm.
By the season start, I do not think Tristan Jarry will be on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Therefore, we're going to ride Artur Silovs as our main goaltender and Murashov, who earned the position of backup to start this season. I am not saying that he is the success, the key. I think we're going to utilize him and we're going to see what he does. Does he maintain this amazing run as a goaltender in Pittsburgh? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't really matter because I think it's going to be Artur Silov's show for this retooling, rebuild year. And we're going to see what he can do. Now, from what we saw so far in preseason, he didn't look too great, Artur Silovs, but he's on a new team. Every single goaltender has been in the organization for at least a full year, except for Artur Silovs. I think he's getting used to the goaltending coach. I think he's getting used to the new head coach. He's in the transition just like everyone else, but he has no history. He has come off a very successful AHL tenure with the Vancouver Canucks. So I think he's coming in with a different team organization, different feel. So I got to give him some time. But I do believe that Artur Silovs will be the main guy for this year, unless the trade something that we get another goaltender. But I don't think that's how it's going to go. The big key is to get rid of Jarry's contract. It is a thorn in our side. We are not happy with it. It has been 2 years in a row that we are not happy with Tristan Jarry's play after a supposed conversation between Dubas and Jarry took place. I think this is a perfect time to get rid of him. Murashov is looking great. Blomqvist is great, but to Josh's point, injury prone. So that's a red flag for Blomqvist because we thought he was our future. Now he could still possibly be our future, but I don't think we expected Murashov to be as advanced as he is.
Correct.
I think we expected it was going to be a longer burn with Murashov, and it's not the case at all. I think he's good. I think he's proven himself to be a logical choice for AHL or NHL. He has been praised by every journalist, analyst, saying that he looks really good. He seems ready for the big leagues. And if that's the case, you have to return back to the thorn in your side and try to get rid of it. Because the problem with thorns is it doesn't allow things to grow. And I think that's the problem with Tristan Jarry. As long as he's here, we can't truly have the depth building that we have with our 2 young guys.
Wow.
I should stop talking after that because that was beautiful. But I will continue. Tristan Jarry is a thorn in our side. We need to get rid of it. I think we need to get rid of the contract. It's nothing against him personally. I think, hey, you've been here for a couple years, more than a couple. You've been our guy after Murray. What happened? Okay. We dealt Murray so fast. Okay. We got rid of him like a sack of bricks, sack of potatoes, whatever you want to call it. We got rid of him. We dumped him that fast. With Tristan Jarry, Kyle Dubas is like, hopefully you get better. You know, it's like, hey, we always compare, me and Josh on this podcast will always compare the NHL to the NFL. Look what's happening in the NFL. All these quarterbacks are 0-3, gone, benched. Get rid of them. They're talking about, because Joe Burrow's hurt, they need to trade away this guy. You see it with every single team. You see it with every team. a quarterback that's not producing, get rid of him. Steelers fans knows this very well from their last season. Why aren't we treating the goaltender situation in Pittsburgh the same way, in the same intensity that we treat the locker room of Pittsburgh Steelers? This guy stinks. And he's overpaid for stinking. Okay? It's not like his contract's cheap. It will be cheap in 2 years when his contract ends up and the salary cap goes up higher and higher and higher. Yeah, then it will be cheap. But guess what? I don't want to have his contract on the payroll right now. I don't think Kyle Dubas wants his contract on the payroll right now, especially when we got Murashov, who's sprouting earlier than expected. You got Blomqvist, who's itching to start, and now you've obtained Artur Silovs, who, on paper, is better than Nedeljkovic. His resume is better than Nedeljkovic. Now, Dubas has gone on record by saying that it was a 1-for-1 trade. Like a 1-for-1 as in getting rid of Nedeljkovic, bringing in Artur Silovs. It was a swap. It was a clean swap, which is fine. I'm okay with that. I disagree, but I'm okay with that. The real issue is Tristan Jarry. I think we need to get rid of his contract, and if we do, which I hope before the season starts, you will see Murashov earning the opportunity to start for the Pittsburgh Penguins as backup. Artur Silovs gets the first slot of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and he becomes our starter. And that's my prediction, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't you think, though, Murashov being the backup in NHL would be a hindrance to his development? Because
I don't.
unless if you're doing like every other game, Silovs, and then
I don't, because it's not about on ice experience. It's about getting him adapted to the league, because his talent's already there. The real person that I want more reps with is Blomqvist, which is why he will be in Wilkes-Barre getting more playing time at a more frequent basis. Yeah, he's going to get shots more. If we have Blomqvist up as the backup, I don't fully believe Blomqvist is ready yet, nor do I believe Murashov is fully ready yet. The only person in that locker room as of right now is Tristan Jarry, and I want his contract gone. And if that's the case, the only logical next choice is Silovs as the starter of the Penguins if we get rid of Jarry's contract. So I would say get rid of Jarry's contract, make Artur Silovs the starting goaltender, and then put Murashov as backup. Let him learn. Let him get used to it. Let him be in the day-to-day. If we believe in Andy Chiodo as the goaltending coach, let him get trained by Andy Chiodo with Artur Silovs. Let Blomqvist take all the reps in Wilkes-Barre, because it was a revolving door down in Wilkes-Barre last year between Larson, Murashov, Blomqvist, even with Jarry getting sent down for a little bit. But we didn't have a consistent...
came in late.
Right, Larson... but I'm saying throughout the season, we had 4 goaltenders in Wilkes-Barre. Yeah, even 5 if you count Gauthier. I think, didn't he get called up for a little bit? So my point is that it's a revolving door down there. And you can make the argument that's what it should be in Wilkes-Barre. It should be a revolving door. It's the minor leagues. This is where you get reps and blah, 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 blah. Yes, but look how that worked out for Wilkes-Barre last year. Look how that worked out for the progression of Wilkes-Barre, where there was a lot of expectations on that team, and they fell short. My theory, all hinges on the fact that Tristan Jarry gets dealt. And if he doesn't get dealt, then what I'm saying is irrelevant. It's obviously Tristan Jarry in Pittsburgh. It's just if it's literally they're not getting rid of Tristan Jarry, and that's fine. all this goes out the window. Everything I just said goes out the window. It's Tristan Jarry, Artur Silovs. That's it. That's exactly what's going to happen in Pittsburgh. And it sucks because I think it does diminish the value that Blomqvist and Murashov have. Because Larson, once again, I have to take a look at his contract, but I think he's going to be in Wilkes-Barre. You're going to have 3 goaltenders in Wilkes-Barre. You can't all get them reps. True. So that slows down their progression. That slows down their growth. And I thought we wanted to get younger, faster, better, fast, stronger, whatever. Whatever the song is. I thought that was the whole point. You can't do that when you have a guy who's clogging the pipe with his $5 million contract.
Well,
so that is my
take. But that's also why the Silovs trade was, not jarring, but a little questionable when it went down because, okay, we traded away Nedeljkovic. Everyone kind of assumed, okay, so Blomqvist or Murashov is going to fill that role just automatically.
Right.
You just automatically see that. And then the trade for Silovs happens, and it's like, okay, well, now what?
The immediate reaction was, oh, Jarry's on the move. Like, immediate.
Well, that was the hope, but again,
right? No, but I'm talking about the immediate reaction was there's something going on. Jarry's getting dealt.
I didn't see a whole lot of that. Because
maybe
honestly,
it was me from the rafters.
Yeah, I think so. Because realistically, you've already gone over it. The contract's very difficult to move. And his tape, especially most recently, is horrendous. It's not. No one's going to trade for a guy that was just sent down to the AHL level that had to clear waivers and no one wanted.
Right.
So why would anyone now at this point trade for him? That's where it's like, unfortunately, I'm having your take collapse right here, but just. I don't see that happening because it always takes 2 to tango when it comes to a trade like that, and I don't see anyone trying to make that move.
Everybody has the 2030 second round draft pick, Josh.
Absolutely.
I will take a 2030 second round draft pick from Colorado, Josh. I don't like.
Yeah.
Give me. I'm not asking for a return.
It could be Toronto because Wall is taking a personal leave of absence. So
maybe
keep your eyes on Toronto.
Yeah, maybe. And we trade him for nothing, and they're grateful. We get rid of a contract, and Artur Silovs, and then all of a sudden you guys would be like, "Wow, Louie's right." Anyway, doesn't matter.
Before we end it,
yeah,
we're talking about an odd man out here that needs to be dealt, okay? Essentially, don't be surprised if it's Blomqvist.
Fair take. But you would expect a return for him, no?
Oh, yeah. Now, and I'm not saying, like, huge, but you get something for him.
Prospect something.
Yeah,
would you expect a prospect in a late pick? That would be a good pull.
That would be a good return.
Yeah,
if you can get a prospect and a pick, that's a great return. But realistically, I think you're only going to get one or the other.
Maybe like a somewhat good pick and a late pick.
Like a mid-round pick or
future
prospect.
Considerations. That's what I want for Jarry. That's what I want for Jarry.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's literally what I want for Jarry.
That's a fair trade for Jarry.
Yeah, like,
absolutely.
Hey, Toronto, future considerations, dude. That's it.
Yep.
And fair. I think that's the best way to do it, and that's what I would do. But
yep,
who knows? We got to wait on Kyle Dubas.
All right, now it is your turn to give us your predictions. Drop your predictions for our goaltenders in the comments below. Don't forget, all season, after every single game, we will be going live on all social media platforms. So be sure to follow us at Pens Collective. Louie, as always,
let's go Pens.
It's Crosby on Trinity shot.
Buckle up, baby. Are you kidding me?
We're a collective.